I don't feel scared when I think about it. I go to school, then I come home and play outside, and it never comes to mind when I'm thinking about that. I realize it is a scary thing, but I realize I could deal with it. I'm never scared of it.
Ray was born October 13th, 2005. Having Ray was just a flood of emotion. I was young when I had Ray. I was so scared up until the day he was born. And then everything started to make sense. I mean, from the moment I touched him, he was my angel. And we have been that close ever since. He is my buddy, he is my right-hand man.
When we found out that Ray was gene positive for hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, first thing I felt was a little bit of guilt. It came from me. Knowing that I passed something along to my son that he would have to deal with his whole life, and that has affected our family in such a severe way as having to deal with 2 sudden deaths because of this. Hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, sometimes known as HCM, is basically a condition determined by your genetics that affects how the heart muscle grows. And although there's a wide diversity of potential outcomes for any given patient, it can present as severely as sudden cardiac death. It impacted my family's life back in 2005. My brother passed away suddenly. It was determined that my oldest sister, Jen, also had HCM. My father passed away suddenly in his sleep, which we attribute to HCM as well. One of the treatment options for me was to have a implantable defibrillator put in late last year.
When we told him that he had the gene for HCM, Ray's #1 question was, can I play basketball? So we talked about living in the now, playing basketball now, and then with the understanding that not to take it for granted.
I've been a coach for 42 years. I coached all my kids in basketball, and he loved basketball from the time he could stand up. It was hard because you never like to see anything that could be limiting to any athlete, let alone your own grandson.
I think the first feeling you have is fear. It's a scary disease that can be hidden, and it can be hidden in children who are running up and down basketball courts, and it's so important to get ahead of it. Growing up, one of the things my dad always told us is always move in a forward direction, one foot after another. And I think scientific discovery is doing just that. It's moving in a forward direction. It's putting one foot in front of the other. Progress is being made.
The prospect of discovery and continuing to learn is so important in life in general, but especially in medicine and health innovation. While you may not think at this time or in the future something like HCM may affect you, it definitely can. And if given that chance, it's important to still support the work of the American Heart Association. There's still a lot of research that needs to be done to give us more information to something that affects more people than you may think. Estimates are at about 1 in 500 people have HCM, whether they know it or not. One of the things that's important to us with Ray is just making sure he lives every day and not being overwhelmed with what may happen in the future, because it's important for him to just live. My brother only lived to 26. You never know what's going to happen.
Ray and I decided we're still going to play ball, and we're going to play ball as well as we can, and we're going to spend that time together, and we're going to go right to the NBA if we can.
My dream for basketball would be hit a game winner in the finals to beat a team like the Spurs or the Warriors. That would be awesome. I play like that all the time, imitating the games I think will happen. And when I'm playing by myself, I always step back from half court and go 3, 2, 1 and try to make my last shot. That's the most important thing. Make your last shot, because it gives you momentum for the next thing you're gonna do.